In this one, friends, let's take a look at finding a sum and a product using a for each loop. So we're going to make an array, say, of doubles. So double, okay, brackets, and then name your array like D, and then make it R for array, and then initialize it. So then put some entries in there like 1.0, 2.0, they're doubles, some other value like 3.0, and let's say 3.0 and 4.0 this way. You could also put integers in here. So now, imagine we want to go through the entries and just add them all together. Now we know that's going to be 1 plus 2, which is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. So we should have a sum of 10. So let's do it as follows. For each, now because each entry in here is a double, I'm going to say double D and R. Let me just basically go through the entries with the for each. You're going to add them together. So we need a variable to store that sum. So let's say somewhere above the for each, just type double sum. And to make sure that we get the correct sum and nothing gets thrown off, just initialize it to 0. Right? Don't do something like sum equals 1, because that would be like adding a 1 to these existing entries, so your sum would be off by 1 unit. If you start, for example, with 5, again, you would have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus that extra 5, which is not in the array. So it has to be 0. Make sure when you're doing that, it starts with a 0. And then you can go do this, sum plus equals, and then just type D here. So this will just grab each entry and then add it to the sum variable. At the end, we can print it. So console.writeLine, and let's print it. So you say string interpolation. I will say here the sum equals, and then embed the sum variable directly into the string within curly braces using string interpolation. Terminate with a semicolon. That's it. Okay, let's give it a go here. So Control F5, start without debugging, let it get loaded into memory. And it tells you the sum is 10, and it's working very nicely. So what you should do is pause the video and figure out how to do this now in terms of finding the product. But I'll do it. So let's do the product part now. So how do you do it? Well, we can use the same for each loop or create a new one. For our purposes, it doesn't make much difference. But let's do this. I'll just reuse this one. So I'm going to type double product. That's the name of the variable and data type. Now here you have to be 0. You cannot have a value 0 to it, set to it initially. Why? Because if you do 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, those values up there, and you multiply it by 0, the initial value of product, then this whole product will just get wiped out, and you're going to end up with a 0. So you can't have a 0. You cannot have a 2 in this position, because you would have 1 times 2 times 3 times 4, which would just be the result of multiplying the numbers, and then you would multiply by the 2, and you would double the sum. The product rather. That's incorrect. So you need to have a 1. In other words, double product and set that equal to 1 like that. And then from there, we're going to have product, okay, asterisk equals, and then D. This will just store everything to the product variable. Add a set of curly braces to define a scope here. Take these 2 lines and then paste them into the curly braces. That's pretty much the code. Oh, and then here this should say D, not double. So this will add up all the D's, and this will multiply them together. And then at the end, we can just print everything. So you know what? Where it says sum, also do this. There /n, that means make a new line. And then product equals, and then within the curly braces, type in product and name of the variable. So here's all of the code. Let's give it a go this time. So we'll start with the debugging, Control F5. So it says sum is 10, product is 24. Working very nicely. Terminate this. You really should pause and type up all the code, run it. Not only that, again, I would urge you to go to debug and step into, and go through the iteration of the code with the step into feature at least once in your life, or a few times in fact, during your programming career. It will show you very valuable insights in terms of the specific operations of each step. That's it for me, so please be sure to leave a like. I'll see you in the next one.